Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome in. My name is Cass, and today I am doing something kind of new, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to do a commentary video of a Transistor run while it happens. At the time of recording this, I am the current world record holder for Transistor any percent. However, at the time, 2 nights after I achieved that, 2 new skips were found that do shorten the run. So this will look slightly different from my world record video, which you can also find on my YouTube channel. And if you see all of these wonderful people just here saying hello to you, and you would like to become one of them, you can find me at twitch.tv/CassXCII. There's a link in the description as well as somewhere on the screen right now. I don't know where I'm going to put it because I've never done one of these before. But this is Transistor. The most important things that you need to know about this run are probably the dash mechanics. The dash mechanics are quite simple, actually. When you dash, which we pick up about 5 minutes into the run, the ability, you do not travel from point A to point B, okay? You actually disappear from point A and appear at point B, meaning there is no collision during the middle of the dash. What that allows us to do is actually skip over a lot of fight triggers. There are certain areas that when you walk across them and your collision is turned on, will trigger a fight and trap you within the boundaries of that fight until it's finished. We skip a lot of those, so I'm going to be pointing them out as they happen because it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but I will promise you that I am doing something. As well as that, there's a lot of out of bounds, a lot of manipulation of enemy AI. So let's just get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure our settings are correct. We want to jump in. We are playing the game in simplified Chinese. It is faster. I have my interact bound to mouse wheel down, and I have auto fire turned on. These are 2 things that you're going to want to do if you want to run the game as well. So we start off here, and the timer starts as soon as we pull the sword out of our friend. Of course, this is a full spoiler run, so if you have not played Transistor and you would like to play Transistor, sorry. But 3, 2, 1, go. I'm currently playing on mouse and keyboard. However, I will be switching to controller throughout the run as well. I'll point that out as that happens. So the first couple of minutes of the run are literally just enemy AI manipulation and making sure that you're killing the enemies as efficiently as possible. So we start off with only 2 abilities here, and then we jump straight into a tutorial. So this is the tutorial for the main combat mechanic of the game. This is called Turn. It's similar to Fallout 4's VATS system, or Fallout 3's VATS system, where time stops, you plan out your attacks, and then at the end, you have like a certain stamina bar to plan out your attacks, and then at the end, all those abilities activate at once. Well, not at once, but one after the other, in the order in which you used them. So that was not the greatest. Normally, these guys line up a little bit better, but sometimes the second creep there walks around to the right instead of to the left. It's very annoying when he does that, but hey, you can't win them all, right? So,
hello world. Look at all that. We're on the edge of town, 100 blocks away.
the next fight is going to be... there is a consistent setup for it. For some reason, I can't do it, so I just kind of wing it. But there are some very talented runners who are very, very good at it. But we got them first try anyway, so that's awesome. Basically, we just want to line those enemies up and shoot through them with one attack called a breach. And then we pick up our third and probably main ability for the game, Spark. Spark is a little bomb, a little AoE that does damage in an initial location and then will spread that damage out in a small AoE. The primary thing we use it for is for detonating load packets. Load packets are little bombs that we can put on the ground that when they take damage, they explode and deal a hell of a lot of damage. We attach the ability Crash to the ability Spark so that when enemies get hit by Spark, their damage they take actually multiplies. Then the load packet explodes and you just one-shot everything. This is the first kind of RNG element of the run. You're going to hit this young lady, pause time, and then breach her twice. Where she teleports to is actually RNG, and where these cells spawn is RNG. We actually got a phenomenal cell spawn. That is like going to be massive time save on my PB. Up here, this is one of the only times we actually use Turn outside of that fight just there to activate both of these panels at the same time. And then we're picking up our main movement ability, Jaunt. which is our dash. So if you hear me say jaunt at any point throughout the run, it means I am dashing. Which I am quite dashing. I think everybody would agree. So that's our dash. And that's our first split. Which actually wasn't great, but we managed to save time on it anyway, thanks to that wonderful young lady spawn. So, this guy we just try to kill as efficiently as possible. It takes 4 crash spark combos to kill him. And then just 2 sparks afterwards. And then this guy here is going to spawn. We're going to crash him and spark him a couple of times. We're going to pick up the cell that he drops. Every enemy, when it dies, drops a cell. Basically, what we want to do is we want to pick those cells up as quickly as possible, because if we don't, they turn into bad cells. And bad cells become an enemy that you cannot progress until you have beaten them. They move around quite a bit. That was just wrong. I don't know why that happens sometimes. But you just like spam, like you spam enter through there, and sometimes it just puts the wrong ability in the wrong spot. So now we have bounce. Bound to crash. So crash, when it hits an enemy, it spreads the damage decrease that is built into crash. So now every enemy that is nearby our initial crash target will actually take additional damage. And we use that to dispose of this jerk and these creeps as quickly as we possibly can. That wasn't too bad. And here we have the greatest character in the entirety of the game, Bike. Bike is a very, very efficient mode of transport. It's literally just cutscenes, but we love Bike. We want to accelerate through this, so you accelerate by holding down any button. Accelerating through here means you are closer to the right side of the screen when the cutscene ends. The closer you are to the right side of the screen, the faster Red exits. And the fade out of the cutscene is actually tied to Red's exit time. So once she's exited the screen, the cutscene will begin to finish. And the closer you are to the right, the faster the cutscene ends, meaning the faster you get back into the game. It is exactly 30 frames faster to accelerate through this scene. This is a good run, as there is quite a bit of downtime to drink tea and interact with your chat, which I am intentionally ignoring right now because they're doing everything they can to try and distract me. And I'm sure new people are going to be coming in and talking to me, and I'm going to be ignoring them. And hopefully somebody in my chat tells them that what I am doing right now, but we'll see. All right, so this next fight, we're just going to jaunt. We're going to dash down to them. We're going to kill one spark really early. One spark. We're going to kill one cell really early, like that. And then we're going to dash around here and try to... Like, we basically just aim for these 2 creeps with our sparks, and we hope that the cells get in the way. That one did not, so that was a little bit slow, but that's okay. Now we're going to dash up here to the next fight. I hope you really like... I have my game sounds turned down quite low because I get sick of the dash sound. But we jaunt there. We take both of those weeds out with one spark. We spark that one, we spark these 2, and now we stand near the door. Because of the pushback attack from the creeps, they will push us closer to the door. So ideally what we want to do is be really close to that door, pick up their cells, and then just be able to exit straight away.
Get ready to get jumped.
So this scene is one of the reasons we play in windowed mode, because we want our cursor to be able to travel outside of the window while we are dashing. Here, we're going to crash this load packet into that cheerleader, blow him up, and then try to bait both of these guys around to the same area. Now I'm going to pause time, crash, and unpause. Oh, sort of worked. That was like, if there's 3 tiers of like a good, we call those the twins. If there's 3 tiers of, good, bad, and perfect, that was probably a good twins fight. We now remove crash, we remove breach, we attach load, we attach bounce, we attach breach to load, and we attach crash to spark. If you've played this game before, you probably know what I'm talking about. But this is the first time where we use a controller. So what I'm going to do here is, because I'm not actually going to move, the camera is going to lose my location. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then by doing that, we are able to actually get out of bounds. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I stuffed it up. So we're going to retry that. There goes my world record attempt. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, we got it that time. So basically what happens is the camera, because you never move, the camera never connects to red. By doing that, you're able to get out of bounds because the collision is tied to where the camera is. When collision is turned off, you can get out of bounds and you can actually skip 3 fights through that whole section, and you skip straight to the next boss. You have to do it entirely blind. You have to do it entirely without the camera being able to see. So you cannot see the character, meaning you have to dash in certain directions for a certain number of times. So every time I reset counting there from 7 to 1, means I change direction. So it's 4 up and left, 2 left, 4 down and left, 3 down, 9 down and right, 21 up and right, 7 up, 4 up and left, 1 left. And that will get you straight to the microphone, which is the trigger for the Sybil fight. This is our first extended cutscene. My chat absolutely loved this song. They've only heard it 139 times. Luckily, the soundtrack is by Darren Korb and Ashley Barrett, and it is phenomenal. So no one is ever sick of it. I generally keep the controller in my hand for this part. It's just easier to move. The game, it doesn't move, although we're isometric. The direction we need to move here isn't directly diagonal. So we have to walk up sort of like diagonal, but to get it in one straight line, you kind of need to use a controller here. And then I just start the mouse wheel spinning so that I interact with the sword on the first possible frame. And now we have the Sybil fight. This is the first major reset point of the run. Sybil is awful to us. Sybil is one of the most frustrating boss fights. Basically what we're going to do is there is a quick kill strat. What we're going to do is we're going to drop 2 load packets, blow them up. She's going to respawn. We're going to drop 3 load packets, blow them up. She's going to respawn a third time. We're going to drop 3 more load packets and blow them up and then do 1 last spark. And if we've done all that correctly, I'm going to do it slightly safely here. And I'm going to actually enter turn, which will slow time down a little bit. So there's the second one. So 1, 2, 3. She spawns. We enter turn. We spark. Done. So that's about 2 seconds slower than the perfect Sybil kill. Where in a perfect Sybil kill, you don't actually enter turn. Turn wastes about 2 seconds. Once to slow down and once to activate. And then once we level up here, we just start dashing towards the second best friend of the run, Boat. And you've got another little rest here. So take a drink of your tea, stretch your hands out. Hand health is very important for a speedrunner. And for everybody, really. So always make sure that you are stretching your hands out, gamers. There's nothing you need to do through this cutscene. You can click and the boat does jumps. I like to pretend that we are calling this, I like to call this Tony Hawk's Boat Skater 3. You can call it whatever you like. You don't have to call it. There is one thing later in the run that you have to call. It is canonically known, but we'll get to that when we get to it. The next is our first of our major fight skips. Basically, 2 snapshots are going to spawn. I'm going to explain this in advance because I'm really bad at the skip. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to enter the fight boundaries and we're going to spam turn. So basically the first frame that we can possibly pause time, we're going to. This causes the boundaries of the fight to draw more slowly. We can actually exit the fight before the boundaries are finished being drawn, and then the game can't lock us in. So we spam turn there, we then unturn and walk immediately. And we're out of bounds. And because of this, we get to skip. There's about 4 fights along this. There's 4 fights along this path, and we're just skipping all of them. And then we enter the area with the most fight skips, canals. This is where good runs come to die. If you get past Sybil, you're on a good run. And this is where good runs come to die. So, first fight skip. We stand in this shadow, and we jaunt here. We now make our way around here as quickly as we possibly can. The second fight skip is by dashing over this corner, like that. Third fight skip is dashing onto this bridge. Done. These guys you do have to kill, so these guys do not spawn as any part of a fight. They are permanently here. If you do not kill them, the door will not unlock, and you will not be able to come back to kill them, meaning you will soft lock. So then you just dash up here, and the fourth and most important boss fight skip is coming up in just a moment. But you get a little moment of reprieve, and then what I think is the worst fight of the game. If anybody watching this wants to join the speedrunning community, we don't have a Discord, but we're very active on the speedrun.com forums. If you manage to find a skip for this fight, I personally will pay you $100. That's how much I hate this fight. And it doesn't look like it's that bad because, like, you know, it's like a clucker and a couple of creeps and some cheerleaders. Like, what's the worst that could happen? It's just so frustrating. There are so many times, like, world record pace runs have died to that fight. And here we have the fourth and final... Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the safety save here because we're already off world record pace. I may as well be safe. Normally, I would not take that save point, but if we fail this fight skip, we need to go all the way back to the start of canals and do all of that segment again. So basically, you want to run to here and dash to this second light here. Once you're standing at this light, you dash across here, and then you do not walk. You only dash until you're about here. Once you're here, you can start walking and dashing. So I walk in, but I just hold the mouse button down, and I walk in between each dash as it gets you like 2 steps further. All right. And here we have a little bit of an auto-scroller. So this is a great time for our wonderful hosts to read donation messages. There is a way to do this optimally. The elevator ride will not end until you collect the last cell. So if you are standing where the last cell drops before it drops, you have done this optimally. And that's going to be right here, pretty much where I'm dropping this first load packet. So we drop one there, one there. As soon as a group of enemies spawns here, we blow that up. Group of enemy spawns there, we blow that up. Now we've got a little bit of time to just run around, collect some cells, and take out these last few weeds before one more enemy spawns just here. As soon as it does, we blow it up. And then one last enemy just here, which we blow up. We collect the cells, we dash to the last spot, and that's the optimal elevator. And now we have our first save displacement. So what we're going to do is we are going to activate a save terminal in the middle of turn. So we're going to take a safety save. And what we're going to do is we're going to activate this save portal while we're in turn mode. We're going to activate it and then dash away so that this doesn't activate until we are already in the fight boundaries. So we walk towards it, we walk away, we turn, we dash, 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 dash. This blue checkered stuff is the fight boundaries. We trigger the fight, and now the terminal pops up. This has auto-saved our location. We escape, we escape, we escape, we retry the fight. We have now spawned behind the fight boundaries, meaning the fight never starts. This is going to be another one. We're going to go up these stairs if this dog is going to let us. We're going to activate this elevator, stop time, walk towards it so we actually activate it, and then we're going to dash like this. Onto this save terminal. We're going to open turn, and we're going to spin our spin mouse wheel so that we activate this terminal. If we've done that right, the game thinks we're on the elevator, so we start going up. But we have saved. We have auto-saved our position. So we're going to now do another retry. So now the elevator has gone. The elevator... Whoops, I did not mean to do that. The elevator being up means we can just, instead of riding the elevator up the shaft, we can just go out of bounds up the shaft instead. And by doing this, we actually skip a load trigger. And what that load trigger does is put the transistor in a particular state. When that transistor is not in the state, we actually bug the game. By bugging the game, we can do a skip in about 2 minutes' time that is massive. This dog that is chasing us, this is Frecky. Remember Frecky. Frecky is very important. We need to give him his exercise because we're going to need Frecky a little bit later in the run. Frecky's heading home now, so say thank you, Frecky. Chat, say thank you, Frecky. We see a big, spooky enemy in the background there, and that is what we call foreshadowing. Oh, whoops. I've forgotten to do so many splits here. That's done. That's done. All right. Here comes the biggest skip in the game. This is hard to explain while it happens. I'm going to do my best. Basically, what we're going to do is there is an enemy here called the Spine of the World. The Spine of the World is not like normal enemies. When you pause the game or open a terminal, the game pauses. Red cannot move, the enemies cannot move. However, because you cannot attack the Spine, it is not considered to be a normal enemy, meaning it does not pause. So what we're going to do is we're going to trigger the fight by dashing in here. We want to get hit by the Spine 4 times. That's turn 1. We want to pick these cells up before they respawn because we need to come back up here. Normally I use audio cues for this, but I actually don't have the game sound audible to myself right now, so this is a little bit difficult. All right, so we're now 1 hit from death, which is fantastic. The Spine's going to come down. We don't want to get hit by it this time, though. What we want to do is we want to open this terminal. So the rest of the game is now paused, except for the Spine. In the background, you're going to see the Spine come down, hit us, and when we die, we enter an emergency turn to give us one last chance to save our lives. We're going to exit turn, and that gives us the ability to move. However, collision that had not already loaded now does not load because the game is still considered in a state of pause. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a door up here. You've got to do this without being able to see, which is very, very difficult. We're going to go through a door here and enter a new area. Enter a new area. And then we're going to... Okay, I just got hit again. That's not great, but that's okay. We exit the terminal and we spam turn, right? Now when we exit turn, we can dash up and we're out of bounds. Because we entered an area where collision had not yet loaded. By exiting out of the terminal, we're able to re-enter turn mode. We do that before the boundary, before the collision gets drawn. And when the collision gets drawn, and because we do that before the collision gets drawn, we're actually able to dash out of bounds before the collision finishes being drawn, which allows us to skip 5 minutes of the game and jump straight to the next boss. This is the second iteration of this skip, uncovered by, I don't know who found the original skip, but this iteration was discovered by FNF, one of our moderators on the speedrun.com Transistor website, who is an absolute phenomenon of this game. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to dash all the way up here, and just on the other side of, like, this room here is is a boss arena. But if I can do this right... You know what? Actually, I'm going to do this slightly slower, just so I can do it correctly. Done. We actually activate the door from the back, meaning we never summon the boss. We never have to fight him. Next one is we're going to dash through this door, and then we're going to dash immediately before collision is drawn, meaning we just dash straight out of bounds there. We've dashed out of the range of the camera, so we hit turn to reset the camera position, and we walk through a door. Now we're going to dash all the way up here. So this is a 2-part area where we need to unlock 2 doors, or 2 firewalls, if you will, to get through a very big door. This area has one particular skip in it. It was not discovered by this particular runner, whose name is Cinnamore. However, I like to call it Cinnamore because Cinna is incapable of getting it on the first try. And I find it really funny because I fail at there's certain skips I fail at that he can get every single time, and there's certain skips that I can get every single time that he fails at. But, you know, even though it is not his skip, I don't think we actually know who discovered it, but I give him credit anyway because, honestly, I think it is his least favorite part of the run. What we're going to do here is we're just going to dispose of these enemies as quickly as possible. Ideally, you kill that clucker before he summons his anti-gravity field. We're going to take the safety save here because it'll be just my luck that I will screw this up on the one time I arrogantly said I get it every time. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to stand between here. We're going to click this jump pad, and we're going to activate this terminal at the same time. Just like that. Now, you can move around in the background. So we're going to click that portal. We're going to go to the second stage of this screen, and then we're going to click this jump portal, exit out of the terminal, and enter pause again. Enter turn again. So we click it, we escape, we spam turn, we enter turn. Just like before, we're now out of bounds because the collision didn't get drawn. We're going to run up here, we're going to run up here. This skips one of the hardest fights in the game. We activate this terminal. We activate this elevator, and we're back in bounds. Now we're going to dash all the way over to the second side. I like to do extended periods of dashing by holding the button down on the controller. It is exactly 55 frames faster to dash by holding the controller because it allows you to dash at the first available frame. All right, we're going to do another save displacement here. So I'm going to take the safety save because I'm scared. We're going to click, walk away from it, dash, 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 dash. And we got it first try. Nice. So we enter pause, we retry, we're inside the fight boundaries, and new fight boundaries just never get drawn. The game, however, thinks we're still in the fight, so it's not going to draw fight boundaries for us for the rest of this section. So I'm just going to dash up through here, dodge over here. These guys still spawn, but they're like we're not locked into fighting them, meaning we can just progress. It is very dangerous here, actually. If you take damage while you activate this elevator, you will softlock the game. So we want to skip through this. Dash and activate the elevator. Now we're going to dash down. We're going to do one more save displacement for this part of the game. So we're going to take the safety save. We're going to click. We're going to walk away from it. We're going to enter turn. Dash, 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 dash. We're going to dash into this fight. Trigger it. Go to the pause menu. Retry the fight. And now if you spam jaunt... Okay, so there are occasionally times where you can just dash before the enemy aggro turns on. If you manage to do that, you actually get to skip that fight. Well, you skip that fight anyway, but you actually get to skip triggering that fight. Because similarly to that elevator that I was just talking about, you actually can die there. If you die while you're entering through the door, the game crashes. And world record runs have been lost to that glitch. All right, here we're going to walk a little bit up. Because we... skipped that fight. This terminal doesn't activate yet, but we're going to remove all our abilities. We're going to get basically naked. Not with our clothes, you creep. Don't think that. We're still going to wear our clothes. But we're going to take all our abilities off. Because for some reason, when we enter a fight later on without any abilities, the game is nice to us and just doesn't lock us in. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to activate... this terminal, which has a message from these two guys who have become unalived. And we're going to walk over and we're going to record their programs so we can hear them. Oh, whoops. Oh, no, I'm still good. And then this guy, we have his program that we need to absorb. And what we're going to do is while we're absorbing this program, I'm going to spam turn. Because we're going to enter turn as soon as this cutscene ends. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk over here. I think I've just done that really badly. Yep. And then we're going to unturn and spam activate. If we get that if we get that fade out, that means the cutscene of the transistor talking to us about what's next. Oh, wait. No, okay, cool. It did happen. Plays in the background. So that saves about 2 to 3 seconds. And then we have the second to last travel cutscene. I just forgot to split there, but that's okay. I don't even know, honestly, why I have the timer on. Just in case I got a new world record, I guess, with the new skips. Oh, I should also mention that we actually use a load remover for this game. So the game is recorded in-game time, not in real time. You do have to down patch, so if you do have the idea of running this, wait for my tutorial first, which will be out soon, and make sure you are comfortable with down patching a game. If you struggle with it, it'll be included in the tutorial, or you can just ask me on Discord. All right, so we're going to get dropped onto the stage where we fought Sybil. However, the bad guys have had their way with it, and it does not look like we remember it. It's quite a bit more bleak, shall we say. And because we don't have any abilities, the game just doesn't lock us into a fight here, which it's supposed to. So this saves about 5 seconds, because once we finish that fight, we actually lose access to our abilities through this area anyway. So you can't dash down this lane. But because we never got locked into that fight, we never have our abilities taken off us. Because we never have our abilities taken off us, we can still dash. And we head up here. We re-equip our abilities. We put help on 1, load on 2, spark on 3, breach on 2, and crash on 3. We then escape out of here. We start dashing down here. This is, in my opinion, the hardest. Well, probably not the hardest fight skip, but this is the one that sucks the most to miss because there's no backup strat and it happens 30 minutes into the run. So you want to line up right here and you want to dash at the right-hand side of this little divot. These like 3 divots in the gutter here, and you dash. And I missed it. So that would be a reset on a world record run. Actually, I would have reset already on this because I screwed up the Sybil skip. But it's so finicky, this one. It's not about timing. Most runners actually like lose time here. I just stuffed it up again. Most runners actually lose time here because they take so long to set this up, because it's better to do it right slowly once than it is to do it wrong quickly 3 times. Wow! Or wrong quickly 4 times. This is so unbecoming of a summoner. Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay, and now we just dash through here. These guys do still spawn, but we're not locked into the fight boundaries. So the worst thing that can happen is that guy hits us with his little tractor beam and pulls us backwards towards him. So we dash through here, and you're officially through the hardest parts of the game. Well, sort of. Well, okay, you're through the hardest parts of the game on the old route. The new route, I mean, you're not through the hardest part. This is purely movement optimization. You just dash as much as you can. And the 2 new skips that were discovered by, again, FNAF, skip 2 of the most difficult fights in the game and the most RNG heavy fights in the game as well. So if you plan on making any human sacrifices in the next couple of years, please do so to FNAF, as he deserves them. We're going to dash up here. Before we trigger this fight, we're going to drop 2 load packets right here. We're going to walk in, trigger the fight. This guy's going to show up. This guy's called a man, and all men are pigs. So we're going to blow him up. We're going to pick up his cell, and then we get back on bike. Again, we accelerate through this scene. The second best piece of dialogue in the entirety of the game is in this next scene. And we don't even get to hear it because we don't even get to hear it because we go through the room so fast. So this is the point where I will ask the GDQ audience, when I am the closing marathon runner of Games Done Quick 2023, to all shout out, "See you in the countryside, Mr. Bike." So because we missed that scene, if you would like to leave a comment below saying "See you in the countryside, Mr. Bike," I'd really appreciate that. Chat, say "See you in the countryside, Mr. Bike." Oh, I was also meant to split there. So we dash, and we exit the room. Right, this is Bob. Bob very graciously pulls us over this gap and then just loses aggro on us because we don't move. If you don't move there, Bob just loses aggro, and we just kill him. As our thanks to Bob, we just I would like to spare Bob, so that's another fight skip if you can find for us, would be great. It probably won't save any time because it's a very, very quick fight. I just don't like killing Bob after he helped us. Right, and upcoming is the first of the new fight skips. I've only ever tried them once, so it's going to be really interesting to see if I actually pull this off or not. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to trigger this. And as we go through here, we're going to start spamming escape. Because what this does is it animation cancels as we go through a door. Meaning we are standing somewhere we shouldn't be. We then enter turn so I can see where the fight boundaries are. And basically, we're going to skip around these fight boundaries. So here, here, here. All right, and now we can just walk through. Which, because we don't do that fight, this is Royce. Royce is the villain of the game. He normally has a 45-second monologue there. By not doing that fight, we get to skip Royce's dialogue. And everyone hates Royce. So that was the greatest skip to ever have been found in this game ever. It doesn't save the most amount of time. It doesn't save as much as fight skip. However, it stops us having to talk to Royce. And we hate Royce. And we've got another one of those coming up very, very soon. So we're just going to dash up here. Ignore Royce again. He's just going to follow us because he really wants to talk to us, but we just do not want to talk to Royce, so we're just going to ignore him. I do this section with controller as well, just because I've got it mapped out so I know exactly what direction I need to dash and how many times, and I just think it's safer doing it with controller than it is with mouse because you can accidentally talk to Royce, and if you talk to Royce, the run's over. Like, you can probably still get a really good time if you talk to Royce, but, like, your dignity is gone, so why would you even bother finishing the run? And coming up here is the second of the new fight skips. So we start spamming escape here. So we stop where we are. These guys still manage to shoot their haircuts at us. But now we can walk around and not trigger this fight. Which is 2 men. And the only thing worse than 1 man is 2 men. And we've got second last save displacement. We're going to take the safety save because if I stuff this up, that really sucks. We click to walk towards it. We keyboard away from it. We pause. We jaunt, 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 jaunt. Unpause. And we got it. Of course, I get them first try every time I do the safety saves. We retry the game. And we dash through. And we just saved like 2 minutes. That was a gold split. That was a minute saved on gold split. That's how good, that's how powerful those new skips are. Saved a minute off what was the perfect run. All right, so this is the fight. This is the last hard fight that we can't skip, sadly. We're actually going to do a damage tank here as well. So we're going to blow this up. We're going to take damage from this one. We're going to throw 2 load packets here and then blow them up. We accidentally enter emergency turn. That's not great, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to... The big issue is that the haircuts have an explosion radius. And by standing this close, you actually take damage when you blow them up. But this hasn't been a great triple man fight, but that's okay. And you know what we say? The only thing worse than 2 men is 3 men. All right. Basically, all we have now is a couple more fight skips, which is going to come up in just a second. 1 more save displacement, and the boss fight. All right, so here's another fight skip. That one's actually super easy to do. I found that casually. You dash here, you dash here, you dash here, you dash here. 1 more fight skip to go. The first time I lost a world record run was to accidentally talking to Royce right there. I'm not bitter about it. Well, I'm not, because we eventually got it anyway. But then we're going to stand here, where you can barely see us. We're going to dash right here, then right here, then right here, then right here. We're now going to click on this, walk up, take the safety save, take the safety save. We're going to click here, walk away, pause, dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't get it. Glad we took the safety save that time. Glad we took the safety save that time. We're going to try that again. Click, walk, dash 1, 2. Oh, I don't think I got it that time either, actually. That felt a little bit too... Yep, no, we soft locked. That's okay. We just retry the fight again. So this is the reason why safety saves are a very, very good idea, gamers. That's much better. So generally, if you can see the little green fire on the ground when you're in turn mode, it means you've done the skip right. Like that. We're now going to dash over the trigger that makes Royce here talk to us. So we actually don't talk to Royce for the entirety of the run, and that's so nice because he's just a dick. And now we're going to dash through here. We lose the camera a little bit. So we enter turn, we exit turn so we can see where we're going. Very good runners wouldn't need to do that, but I'm not a very good runner. I mean, objectively, I think I'm the best in the world, but I'm just not very good at the game. We dash down here. We put the transistor into its cradle. Or as we like to call it, we hate Max. And I split when the transistor explodes for the second time. So there's 1 explosion, 2 explosions. But you can split whenever you want there. And then it's the final boss fight.
I know you can hear me. I won't let you go. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Okay, I just realized I lied. Royce does talk to us through this cutscene, but we ignore it. We just put our fingers in our ears. So this is a canon requirement that we just put our fingers in our ears and we just don't listen to what Royce has to say. Because unfortunately we are locked into a cutscene here, so we're kind of forced to listen, but I don't like to be forced to do anything I don't want to do. And what's going to happen here is Royce has his own transistor, meaning he can do everything that we do. So he can use turn, meaning he pauses time and then plays out his abilities. We're going to try and make him so he can never use that turn after the initial turn. After his first turn, he's not going to get a turn. We're going to do that in a very special way. So we menu here. We attach that to 1, that to 2. Yep, that to 3, that to 2, that to 1. And we put dash onto our passive. What dash on your passive does is it means you recharge your cooldown on your turn faster. So, do you remember 20 minutes ago when we met Frecky and we took Frecky for a walk? Well, the reason we take Frecky for a walk is because we need him to love us because Frecky comes and helps us in the boss fight. And he is such a good boy. Girl. Frecky is canonically a girl. Sorry. And then, because we only use 2 abilities and Frecky did the rest of the damage, our cooldown on our turn is super short. So we only use 2 abilities, meaning we only use half our turn bar. When we only use half our turn bar, the cooldown is very, very short. Frecky actually does the most damage here. So we can turn again. Usually it's meant to be you get a turn, Royce gets a turn, you get a turn, Royce gets a turn, you get a turn, Royce gets a turn, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he lives on 5 health. So this would be a reset right here, which is super frustrating. In fact, I'm gonna retry this fight again, because he's now killed Frecky, and we don't deal with that. We don't deal with Frecky being killed. So we have to do this menu again. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, and then drawn on passive. So again, he's gonna use his turn. Because we reset, that last fight is no longer canon, meaning Frecky never died. And that's very important to know. Alright, so while his moves are playing out, we just spam Frecky here. Once Frecky starts coming out, we enter turn, we set a bomb down, we blow it up. Oops, we switch to Frecky, we run towards him, we bark, bark, bark. We then spam turn, so as soon as we're able, we enter turn, we drop a load, drop a bomb. No one make a joke about dropping a load, please. We blow it up. We do that one more time. Actually, we do that 2 more times. Royce has used all of his lives now. We enter the last turn. 2, 3, Q. 1, 1, 1. And that, my friends, is the Transistor 80% speedrun. There is a small ending cutscene where we have to do a little bit of movement. But it's really not much. Royce dies. We're very happy about this. Okay, so a song is playing right now. You guys can't hear it because it's only playing locally. A song that is playing right now is about Romeo and Juliet. It is called Star-Crossed Lovers by a band called Ice Nine Kills. And my final split is called Then I Defy You Stars, which is a quote from Romeo and Juliet. And I think that's really, really fitting. I didn't even plan that. There is actually an optimal way to clear out these statues as well. You start on the left and you go around clockwise. Puts you in the closest spot to the ending of the once you finish the final statue, you're closest to the exit. And you walk the shortest amount of steps between each menu. I actually also lost a world record run to doing this wrong once as well. It was super frustrating. And then we head towards where we began the game. Because just like life, the game is a full circle. And if you would like to avoid major story spoilers, please end the video right now. Time. And now we just play out the final cutscene. And as always, when I finish a run, I like to let the credits play. This is my all-time favorite game, and I'm super grateful for Supergiant Games and the developers. So I like to make sure they get their credit. So if I can pass on anything to you guys, it is always watch the credits of a game, because people worked very, very hard in there, and you deserve to at least see their names. I don't know at what point we got telekinesis powers, but we did apparently. And thus ends the game. So, guys, this is a really, really fun run. This is a really, really fun run. It's not too difficult. I picked it up and was able to... I've only been running this for about 3 months, and I was able to snag world record. It's a small community, but we're very, very close. We share all of our tech as soon as we discover it. We support one another. You know, I am stoked for the day my world record gets taken from me, because that gives somebody else a chance at the top. So it is a really, really great... If you love this game and you want to replay it and don't have a reason to replay it, learning the speedrun of it is a really, really great way to enjoy this game over and over again. It's got phenomenal music. It's a phenomenal story. It looks beautiful. It's just a fantastic, fantastic story. So what we're going to do here is, after this final cutscene, we're going to let the credits play out. And thank you so much. Like I said at the start of this video, this has been my first time doing this, so if you've got any feedback, you know, do not hesitate to drop a comment. And if you've got games that you'd like to see ran like this with a marathon style commentary, outside of a proper marathon, let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking for new games to run. I can hear this game song and my local audio at the same time, and this is very, very odd, but the songs are of a similar tempo, so it kind of works. Chat, if you would like to say goodbye to YouTube, now is your chance. If there's any message you would like to pass on to YouTube, please do so. If you would like to encourage them to come and join you, by all means do so. Again, guys, you can see all these runs happen live on Twitch, twitch.tv/CasXCII. Link is in the description, and it is also on screen right now. But it's not going to be on for very long because we're about to see credits, and I don't want to cover the credits. But come join us. It's a really, really fun place to be, if I do say so myself. Also, it's really funny to me that we just got 44-48 during full commentary when I was trying so hard to get sub 50 for so long. And we just got sub 45 in a marathon setting. In a no reset commentary setting. Love that for us. All right, guys. You want to stick around for the credits? That'd be dope. If not, that's okay too. But I'll see you guys soon.